Welcome to Green Bay Botanical Garden. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Mark Honlock, Director of Horticulture. You know, Green Bay Botanical Garden is really a community endeavor. Let's start at the beginning. Green Bay Botanical Garden was incorporated in 1982 by a group of community horticulturalists. Our initial lease was signed with Northeast Wisconsin Technical College in 1988, and $1.3 million were raised to start construction of the Visitor Center and the first gardens. We opened our doors to the public during the summer of 1996. While Green Bay Botanical Garden leases the land from the college, no tax dollars go to support the operations of the garden. So why don't we take a walk now and explore the garden? One of the first areas you'll encounter at Green Bay Botanical Garden is the Schneider Terrace, a new American-style perennial garden. The garden is also known for its unique structures: the Meredith B. Rose Cottage, the Maple Thome Fountain, and the Shearer Well House. The well house is very popular with photographers. One of the reasons is the multiple areas that this structure overlooks. As you enter the well house, to the left is the Larson orchard remnant. The whole property was actually an apple orchard, and during World War II, apples were harvested and used for applesauce for the soldiers. Now, the garden features shade-tolerant perennials and annuals. As you look straight out the well house, you'll see the 6 herb gardens that are taken care of by local groups in Green Bay. To the right, you can see the Color Foliage Garden. This garden relies heavily on textured and colored foliage instead of flower power for interest. You can also see the Maple Thome Fountain. The garden's founders had the foresight to install a well at Green Bay Botanical Garden. Since its inception, it's pumped over 6 million gallons that have watered all the plants throughout the property. It even fills the fountain. This is a great place to relax. Shade, benches, the music of the water, the beautiful blossoms of the Adirondack crabapple in the springtime, and gorgeous views of the other areas throughout the garden, including the Vanderpeeren English Cottage Garden. This is the English Cottage Garden. The cottage is an example of how a groundskeeper would have lived on a country estate, and the charming garden is an example of how they would have gardened. They would have incorporated vegetables into their flowering plants. The garden relies heavily on self-seeded annuals, which would have saved on their budget, and incorporates a lot of different plants throughout the garden. Even the hardscaping material is something they would have rummaged about and found as outcasts and brought onto their own paving system. The beauty of this garden is how it changes through the seasons. You'll be amazed how it looks on your next visit. The yellow building with the green tin roof is the Kaften Loos'D house. This gorgeous 3-season Scandinavian gazebo is a very popular rental site. It's used for luncheons, weddings, receptions, and other garden events. It also offers this beautiful panoramic view of the Lux Foundation Upper Rose Garden. Strolling through the Upper Rose Garden, we've now arrived at the Cress Oval Garden. This area is flanked by 2 arbors, the Stump Belvedere, and the fountain. This contemporary rose garden includes a wide variety of perennial plants and modern landscape shrub roses. Take a look around. You'll see why it's the most popular wedding site at Green Bay Botanical Garden. Here you'll also meet George and Marguerite Cress. George was the founder of Green Bay Packaging Company, one of Green Bay's largest paper manufacturing companies. He loved to serenade his wife Marguerite with his Stradivarius violin. Legend has it, if you rub Marguerite's left earlobe, your wish will come true. Give it a try, or just take a seat, relax, and enjoy the music. Be sure to bring your family out to the Gertrude B. Nilsson Children's Garden, one of the few children's gardens in the state of Wisconsin. There's a lot of activities to do out here. You can water the topiary animals in our wedding zoo, examine the koi in our pond, and look throughout the garden for mailboxes with fun activities for your family. There's a maze to navigate, a tree house to climb into, a slide to go down, as well as many gardens to explore, including the butterfly garden and the sensory garden. When you're done exploring, take a look at the Stumped Hobbit house. It's a rest station that includes a restroom and drinking fountain opportunities. Across the path is our children's gardening patch. There, families can rent space to grow vegetables and other produce under the watchful eye of our horticulture and education staff. The King Shade Garden is a tranquil oasis. Not only are there thousands of shade-tolerant perennials and hundreds of hostas, there's also a babbling, meandering stream that leads to the ruin of a spring house. The spring house celebrates the horticultural history of the site as the Larson Apple Orchard. A structure like this would have been used to cool produce before refrigeration. Let's take a rest in this tranquil environment before we head back to the visitor center. Also remember that our garden is always changing, so be sure to come back often to see what's new. Becoming a member is an easy way to enjoy the garden throughout the year. Spring and fall bring their own seasonal colors, and visiting in winter gives you the chance to see the stunning WPS Garden of Lights. Thanks for coming on this tour of the garden. There's a lot more to explore. Why don't you get out there and see for yourself?